And he just walked up and he looks at me, he said, "You good?" And he pulls a stack of money out of his pocket and he bounces it off my forehead.
Okay, yeah.
I'm a f***ing animal! I'm a f***ing animal!
There was a nervous part when JD's not the same on camera.
Hey, what's up, man? Welcome to Complete Animals, episode 11. We just saw you change your character, JD. You turned into a cool guy. You're like Steve Urkel turning into Stefan in the
Nah, I turned to what was Superman's real name again?
Clark Kent.
There you go.
He's a great DJ. Listen, this is episode 11. YouTube.com/DJ Wonder is where you can find us. Please come check us out. I want to introduce our guest first, and then we're gonna interview him later because I want you to be a part of everything we're talking about. Before we get into talking about you personally, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the Dapper Viking right here, baby. Joe Pliml, is that how you say your name?
Yeah.
Joe Pliml, Red, aka Red, baby. Nice. Thank you for coming through. We appreciate you. We're gonna get all into what you do, especially that hat that you're wearing there. I don't know. Let's show the people. There it is. Bong. We're going to talk about that.
Joe got mad energy.
Cool. So yeah, man, we'll go over a lot of stuff. If you feel like jumping in, just get right in there, and then we'll talk to you. Let's see, man. This weekend was a mess. I had to do a lot of rethinking my life choices, and why am I not as far as I need to be in life? Why do all these 21-year-old kids have bigger chains than I'll ever accumulate? And why do I live in a city? Why did I move to a city that is just like a nonstop holiday that I can't get out of? That's all the things I thought about.
Holiday.
Last episode, you can check it out, youtube.com/DJ Wonder. It was called episode 10. It was DJ 5 Venoms was on. It was called Sneaking into Rolling Loud. Guess what, folks? We didn't sneak into Rolling Loud. Well, this guy did. I didn't, because DJ 5 Venoms did not give us any tickets. Dex, how do you feel about that?
Oh man, like I'm not too upset. You know, I actually got offered tickets Saturday and Sunday, but I had went to Rolling Loud like 4 years in a row, and I was just tired. And I was like, you know what, it's fine. You know, I'm not even trying to deal with it.
Bragger.
I stayed home, man. I stayed home. Actually, no, I DJ'd twice. Huh?
The whole weekend.
I just isolated myself from everybody. I was just like, I'm
went
good.
to hiding the whole weekend.
I just went. Because I DJ'd Friday night at Sylvester, and then Saturday I was like thinking about going because you know my buddy he works for the Dolphins, and he hit me up and he works within the Hard Rock, and he was like, "Yo, I got 2 tickets."
Yeah, that's how I ended up getting in.
He's like, "Yeah, I got 2 tickets for you. You want to come?" And I'm like, "What time does it start?" He's like, 4. I was like, "All right." And I was just laying around, and one of my homegirls, she came over. We went to the pool. I started drinking a ton of alcohol. I got so drunk, I was just laying by the pool. I was like, "Fuck that! I'm not driving up to the Hard Rock." Like, I don't know.
That's a mess.
I'm good.
It is
I'm
a drive.
good. I just chilled out, you know. And then, you know, same thing happened on Sunday, and I was just like, "It looks great," you know.
Someone just
but
gave me a wristband. I know it was like an
yeah, and
artist
then
wristband.
like everybody I wanted to hang out with, they was in the Loud Club, but
Yeah,
the
that's
Loud
what I
Club
know.
is like extremely far from the actual performers. So I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna skip my my little clout chase, and I'm just gonna stay home.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay home.
Guess
I'm good.
what happened?
I'm good.
I met up with JD on Sunday, and he's like, I think we're going to the concert. Then he thought he wasn't going, and then you know, he decided to take all of my friends, everybody around me, with him to the concert. And he went and snuck in. He got somebody to slip off a little wristband, put it on his wrist, and I was stuck walking around Wynwood like a loser, eating dinner by myself. That's what I'm talking about. It was a weekend of contemplation, man.
This was so last minute. She hit me up. She goes, "I got an artist wristband for you." And
who's she?
A family member. I'm not gonna mention the name. I'm not gonna mention who she's.
Yo, JD is Mr. Unanimous over here. Like,
I'm not gonna pay.
not unanimous.
Thank you.
Anonymous.
Thank you, family.
Unanimous.
Thanks to your
Anonymous.
multi-platinum super producer boyfriend. I'm not gonna mention the name. Appreciate it. But yeah, so I went and then I felt bad. I'm like, damn, the other person I was with. I'm like, I don't want to go. You know when you made up your mind, you don't want to go, and it gets offered at you, it teases you.
Yeah.
So whatever, we go, and the girls are like, oh, some guy's gonna get us in. I'm like, I'm not really with that. We still right up there. We get there. The guy sells them out. I go in. I'm good. And I'm like, are you guys in? No, we're not. So I feel bad. They end up finding their way in because it was like the last day, I guess. And as I'm walking around, I couldn't fully get in, and this kid that works for the Dolphins, he runs a beverage. He ends up like, hey, come here, man. I like you. He told me to put the VIP thing on my neck. So I finally go in. But that wristband apparently was like for like special like artist events, I guess. Went to the Duce Lounge. It was very suspicious. And then after that, yeah. a lot of very cloud chaser. You know Hennessy gets people very like egotistical.
But you just said the Duce Lounge. And now you're saying
it's
Hennessy.
Cognac. Same thing. You know,
the whole thing.
Same family.
That's why it's suspicious. Jay.
I don't know if I do say myself.
So yeah, man. I ended up running in there.
Myself.
And ran into my peoples from Versus. You know, shout out to Thomas. He did do all the setup and stuff, and that was pretty interesting. And
who's your people from Versus Timberland? That's who we saw.
Thomas.
Yeah,
same crew.
We saw you hanging
Demetrius.
out with
Who was on Versus and his was it Teddy Riley? Where his mic cut out and like you couldn't hear nothing he was saying, and now Teddy Riley like it's big production now, and now he's like, damn, I was on Versus when it was.
Who was that? Was that Versus Babyface? Teddy Riley.
That was like the first one, deep pandemic,
like dude. That was like. You don't understand. People didn't understand Instagram Live during that time. Like I was been doing DJ mixes on Instagram Live since like 2016. So I kind of knew how to like connect things, but they didn't understand how to connect. You couldn't connect two microphones at the same time. They've come a real long way. They just got sold for like $300 million to Triller or something, right?
Yeah.
From the pandemic till now
and everything.
Yeah.
So I went to the Thriller party too Saturday. It was pretty interesting. Very last minute. Pretty. It was pretty awkward running into a girl I used to talk to, and she was like waitressing it. It was like,
I saw you guys had a blast. He was at the SLS. I seen that. I actually wanted to go to that, to be honest with you.
That pissed off my Sunday because SLS. What's up with your hamburgers, man? They served me a plain burger, 2-patty burger with no lettuce, no ketchup, no mustard, nothing.
Yo, he didn't get his hamburguesa con queso.
This dude kept going to the bar, right? And I'm like, JD's drinking today like that? It's crazy. Yo, he comes back with first off with 2 glasses of water. Then he comes back and keeps asking for condiments from the bar. A bar at a pool party. This is what he goes.
But it's a pool party. It's okay to serve a common sense burger, yo.
A common sense.
I don't care. I'm not cheap. I don't mind paying it. It was $22. Come on.
All right, $22.
It just felt like you should have got some ketchup for $22.
Exactly.
Yo, and I don't know if you guys know about pool parties. You're not supposed to wear like pants. They're not supposed to let you in. You're supposed to be wearing like a swimsuit.
Right.
I don't trust people that go to pool parties and don't take their shirt off the entire time.
Well,
the whole time.
Yeah,
that's weird.
The guys that go like the guy that wears a t-shirt and Jordans to the beach, and we're like, take that off.
I feel guilty. I
definitely am not taking my shirt off. But you just want to show. You want to show off your cool. You want to show off your cool tattoos, Dex.
Yeah, I mean that's it's part of it. It's part of being on the sun, and
That's right. We have a tattoo artist in here, don't we?
That's right, baby.
We're gonna talk about that.
But Saturday was pretty interesting.
Okay. Sorry guys. JD wants to get back to his weekend. My bad. He wants to get back to his Saturday. Yeah, we saw you at a house party for that Triller event. Was that somebody's house or something?
I guess they rented this mansion. A lot of these big companies do that sometimes. It was an interesting crowd too.
Did you see anything suspicious in that event? In that lounge?
Nah, it's gonna sound messed up, so I'm not gonna say it. Nah.
Nobody knows where it was.
You're the king of the cliffhanger.
So there was suspicion, but you don't want to talk about it.
Nah, because the person that it was just
All right, man. Yeah, dude. It's like I don't know what it feels like when I used to go to South by Southwest, and like this is like when like hip hop artists started invading South by Southwest, and any play or like Complex Con Weekend, all this stuff. It's a giant competition of like who can wear the craziest stuff and everything. You know exactly who's going there. If you're coming to the airport, you know who's getting off and going to these
exactly.
Events.
Just the way they dress and everything. You can
tell.
tell.
Man. It's so. What would you say this year's uniform was at Rolling Loud there, JD?
What? The typical Balenciagas. Mm-hmm. Dior was so 2020, so it was a designer brand for the year. You've seen it all. For what you do for a living, you've seen it all. You've seen the most scamming. You've seen the most temporary folks. Everything. So
I don't know. I saw a video on Instagram of Joe walking with an umbrella like he was part of the Kingsmen or some shit.
First of all,
what's going on with that?
I had a wild story about that. So for whatever reason, I'm getting ready. I'm getting my stuff together to go to Rolling Loud, and my wife's friend's in town, and she walks in the door like out of breath, and I'm like, "Yo, you all right?" She's like, "All your elevators are out of service." I'm like, "What do you mean all of them?" She's like, all of them. They're all out of service.
What floor do you live on?
31. Okay, so she's like, I just realized she just walked up 31 flights of stairs, right? No. So I'm like, all right. So now I got to go because this could take me 10 minutes. I don't know how long it takes to walk down 31 flights of stairs. So I'm like, I get my stuff together. I start the journey down, and I get like maybe 15 floors. And where the actual bottom of the building is before the train station starts. And there's this sign that says 80 feet, no exits. And I'm like, why would you?
Right, that's 80 feet, no exits.
That's what I said, right? I was like, what do you mean 80 feet? Like, what's 80 feet in stairwell? You know what I mean? And then I started realizing I went down a few floors, and there was absolutely no exits. It was the strangest thing. And you know how like sometimes there's a gap in between the stairwells so you can look down? All of a sudden after that sign, there was no gap. You couldn't tell. Like you couldn't look down, you couldn't look up.
So it's just a stairwell.
It was like
nowhere.
It was like a cave. No, I was going to the bottom of the building, but for like, what is it, 8 floors, there was no exits. Like no doors to exit off each floor.
Oh yeah. I've seen that before.
So I'm like, all right, so I break my ankle, now what? You know what I mean? So, but it was creepy. I mean, there was like some part of it where I wasn't even sure if I was going down still, if I was just going in circles. Like it was like the Twilight Zone or something. But I finally got down to the bottom, and everything was all right. We hopped on the bus, whatever, we got there. But my calves were on fire.
Yeah, I can imagine how
I was going down. I was going down. So now we get there, and everything's stairs. we get to Rolling Loud, and like we gotta walk up to the Loud Club thing with the
stairs, like a little platform.
My legs were killing me, bro.
Yeah,
killing me. So needless to say, I brought the umbrella because I didn't also want to be that guy when it's raining and you're just getting poured on.
Every time I've gone, I'm damn near every time I've gone to Rolling Loud, there's always been some torrential rain.
Right. Yeah.
That happens. It's like they just plan a festival. Like, yeah, we're gonna have a festival.
Maybe it's a time frame too.
In hurricane season.
Yeah, I mean it's summertime, right? Like
it's summertime. But man, I'm not gonna lie to you. Festivals freak me out. It's a lot of people. I just never understood the concept.
I've never gone.
It's so funny you said that because I'm gonna be honest. I was standing where that Loud Club stage was, and I'm looking out, and there's like
you're looking at a cool 25,000, 30,000 people, and it's like.
Was it that many people?
No, actually,
I think around 85.
60.
85.
Huh? No, I think it was close to 60,000.
Well, probably 75,000.
Yeah.
Dude, all I know is that I saw when Kodak Black performed, there was like a clip on Academics page or one of them.
Dex, you had to look at Instagram to see Rolling Loud also, like me? Yeah, I think
you were supposed to be here.
Yeah, but Dex chose not to
I chose not to go. You were sitting here.
I couldn't.
Anyway, I was looking at an aerial view of when Kodak Black was performing, and it reminded me of that clip that they always show of DMX when he was in front of that massive crowd, wherever the fuck he was
Woodstock,
at.
That was Woodstock. That was a real festival.
Yeah, that was...
Dude.
They don't make them like that anymore.
There was so many people out there. I was like, wow, that's a lot of people.
Nah, I think Woodstock...
Great story, Dex. That was really good. So real quick, just to wrap up, starting a new residency at Wood Tavern Wednesdays. Come check that out. I played a spot Jazid on the beach. You guys been there before?
How was that?
It was cool, man. The worst part for me was they started lighting the bar on fire just for fun. Like the bartender lit the bar on fire.
They've been known for that. That's
maybe like
signature.
They do that at Baoli too, right?
15 times.
Yeah, they do that too.
Yeah, it was just like that. But then there's also this stuff that's in the air. It's like pixie dust, and it makes everything spark when there's a flame. But once it lands on your skin, it shocks you. Or burns you. I don't know, one or the other. So I kept getting like
lawsuits.
Yo, the manager came over to me. He's like, I see you looking. Don't worry. It's just, it helps spark and it helps the air spark. I'm like, dog, I'm deteriorating over here. You're turning me into Darkman, and it's it
helps the room spark.
Yeah, it like sparkles the room when there's flames. I didn't understand, man. It was magical. It was raining ash on me, and I was just supposed to stand there and take it. And my computer, I'm like, is it going to explode or what? So anyway, that was Jazz It. Thanks guys for having me. Then Saturday, a Baby Jane. You know, I love Baby Jane. I found JD a MILF this weekend. He didn't come by and pick her up. Maybe she'll be there next time.
Damn, one was supposed to come here today, but whatever. Next time.
Next time.
Okay.
All right, and then real quick, Dex, talk about this agency thing I see you've been promoting. We got to talk about it because it's all this guy talks about every day. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, the Drip Ninja agency. You know, it launched this week, and we've been operating for a couple years now, but we're making it a little bit more public and opening up, you know, our business and our client base to a lot of other people. And we're doing basically a members club and agency where we're doing media, but we're also doing management of artists, kind of like our own version of Rock Nation or whatever you want to call it. And it's really super cool. And yeah, we're gonna start by throwing you know, our own agency parties at Freehold, which 11 Vodka is now involved in that. And you know, it's kind of like what A-Track did with Fool's Gold a bit, you know, where we have our, you know, DJs that are part of our Drip Ninja clique, and we're going to be just throwing down weekly, and we're going to make it a very awesome event. It's a free party at the Freehold, and you're free to do whatever. Stand
Shout
on
out to
tables.
Brad.
Yeah, shout out to Brad. Shout out to Ali. They're fucking amazing.
Bryce.
Freehold's a dope venue.
Yeah, it's really dope.
Brad's
And
like my big brother, basically.
yeah, and it's you know, we're doing champagne and pizza. You know, that's kind
I
of
like
our
that.
theme.
I like that.
It's champagne and pizza. You know, no
combination.
covers ever. You know, we're basically saying that, you know, if you're a DJ and you want to play, we're gonna scout you out, and you know, we're gonna do the programming weekly, and it's supposed to be for the versatile. You know, this is not, you know, it's called unbranded, meaning that, you know, we're not putting any dates on our flyers. We're not putting any DJ names on our flyers. It's not about, you know, ego. You know, it's like, if you want to play the party, be part of it. You know, you just come and you're part of it, and we do something special, and you can tell stories about it week after week. But, you know, it's not about, you know, putting your name out there or whatever, you know.
Hey, Joe, that sounds like a great agency, right? They don't promote you at all.
No, we do. No, we promote the artists and the people involved, and we do a lot of good business, and we're doing sponsored deals, and we're putting people in contact with brands. I mean, we're helping influencers. We're doing, you know,
But you're
high
talking
quality.
about this event.
Yeah, but this event, this specific party is called Unbranded. You know what I'm saying? And then the idea is to create a entertainment and an industry hotspot on Wednesday, which is like the Sunday of nightlife.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Joe, check this out.
Sure,
You-
cool.
You may not have like, you know, heard this before on this podcast, but it seems like every time I start something, Dex somehow kind of starts doing the same thing. I start a party on Wednesdays. The next week, he starts a party on Wednesday.
Yo, bro.
My spot is at a spot
I
called,
think Joe's a witness too.
it's called Pizza and Beer.
Actually-
the place where I play. Now he wants to do a pizza and champagne party at his.
Wait,
Joe, that's like,
but
yo,
wait,
you
but wait,
seem
but
like
wait,
a
but
roach,
wait,
yo.
but wait. Let's, you know, this always happens, but it's never like that. So I've been wanting to do this with Freehold since January, and I had been playing with them as a resident DJ with them since January, and the opportunity finally came up, and there was one last day available. It was Wednesday, and you're playing at Wood Tavern, which was actually the other fucking direction down Northwest Second Avenue, and they moved into a place called Pizza and Beer, which has nothing, and that was random. That just happened, like over the last month or two, like that just happened. I have been plotting on doing this damn party with Freehold, which is a fucking glorified bar and pizza restaurant, for a while, and it just happened. It happened to happen now.
How about my topic?
We got the defense statement.
How do you guys? Okay, let's switch the topic. I hung out with my ex-girlfriend and boyfriend this weekend. Would y'all ever do that if you're moved on from them?
Wait, say it again?
I mean, it depends on the scenario.
All I heard was you're hanging out with your ex-boyfriend and ex-girlfriend.
No. I hung out with my ex-girlfriend or boyfriend this weekend. You know, hey, I moved on. Like, I'm happy for her. You know, like, there's nothing romantic anymore. There's nothing sexual with me and her anymore. So, how'd you guys feel about that? Well, she doesn't live here. She was visiting. So
I mean, if y'all cordial, it is what it is. To each his own. What the fuck am I supposed to say?
but I'm asking. But you wouldn't do that. Most people wouldn't, right?
Yo, one time I was.
Was she the one that got you tickets to Rolling Loud?
Hell no, that'd be fucked up.
And in that case, maybe you have to. You know what I mean? That's
No.
I mean, I think I would if you're in the entertainment industry, and then I guess if it's just business and entertainment, and then you had an entertainer that was your ex, and it just happened to just go the way it did. I mean, you can't like stop.
Nah, it's not
moving
just
around
me
your
and her.
circles.
I had a girl with me, obviously. We're a whole group, you know. It was just awkward. All her friends are just like, fuck's going on?
Yeah, it was just JD. He's like, oh, you guys showed up here too? Wow, it's a coincidence. You look so good.
He probably following her around.
And I got kind of semi-catfish too. I actually, damn.
What, the girl you were with?
No. This happened Saturday. I chose to be a big gentleman, and I don't care if that person sees it. I got her Uber to where I was, got her drinks, and I see her in person. I'm like,
oh, you had seen her on Instagram, and you hadn't seen her in person?
no, like I met her once, and during the pandemic,
Were you drunk?
pandemic, she was looking. And I
Oh,
saw
so she
her,
put on those pandemic pounds.
and I was like,
Pandemic. It's funny because I feel like a lot of women shedded pounds in the pandemic.
Nah,
It's gone
dog.
both ways.
Yeah.
There's a few that got
Yo, that's
skinnier, there's
true.
a few that put on a
This is
little
true.
too much.
Yeah,
you know?
that's a fucking fact.
All right. Well, JD, yeah, I don't know if any of us would stoop to your levels and hanging out with your exes, but I'm sure you had a great time. Let's get ready for the walls to close in because it's time for an interview. JD, you ready? Watch your head. There it goes. Bong. We're talking to the one and only dapper Viking himself, Joseph Red Pliml. What's up, man?
What's up, my man?
All right. So, for people that are just listening, you can check us out on any podcast provider. Type in Complete Animals. They can't really see you, but you're wearing a hat that says 11. So I'm guessing you have something to do with that establishment. But before we get into that, I'll just talk about kind of where you came from. Maybe you're also a tattoo artist. Let's talk about tattooing. But how did you end up in Miami?
So I'm originally from Chicago. I moved down here like 5-6 years ago. It's been a wild ride, let me tell you. But no, I've been tattooing for a long time, like probably like close to 10 years now. So I tattooed in Chicago. I had a little shop there, and then moved down here. Opened up a shop in Wynwood. Had that for a little while, and then tattooed on the beach. And now I'm going to be opening up a new spot pretty soon here.
nice. I like the growth, man. You're still consistent with it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's always been my passion. I mean, I've always done tattooing in nightlife because there's so many people.
Yeah, it's networking.
So many people in nightlife that have tattoos, so it's easy to meet new clients without really having to market or anything.
Exactly.
So, but no, it's been good.
Do you have like any of your own work on your body that you can? Hey, man, I did this or something like that. Or do
Actually, growing up when I was like learning how to tattoo, I had a lot of dumb friends who were just like, look, I know you're gonna get good at some point, so do whatever you want now, So, so luckily I didn't have to like tattoo my whole body to learn how to tattoo, But I did do both sides of my calves. So,
how many do you have altogether right now?
How many tattoos?
Can you count or no?
Bro, I don't know, 30 plus.
Okay.
I don't know. I have a lot. Yeah.
That's good.
I know he did that one on Dex. Though,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I did.
Oh yeah, he did my hand.
Show him real
Dex's
quick.
job stopper.
Yeah,
right
he
there.
got my.
Oh, that's called a job stopper. Okay.
Yeah,
Job
job
stopper,
stopper.
I think
that's
Joe
right,
might do
that's
my
right.
very first tattoo soon.
That's why.
JD, you've been talking about this very
Yeah.
first tattoo for years.
I
bro.
want to get a Sade portrait there. Don't ask me. I don't know
Sade
why. It's my
portrait.
favorite.
That's why I had to open up an agency.
right
Right
on
none
his
would
right
hire
hand.
me.
Right
No,
You
it's
know,
my four.
got to start a business because nobody will hire you because you got a job stopper. It's
I
called
like that job
entrepreneurship.
stopper. I like
Yeah,
that.
bro.
Entrepreneurship.
So did you have to like apprentice or like how did you even get into the scene? Is it a cutthroat business?
I mean, yeah, tattooing is not a lot of people want to teach somebody else how to tattoo. It's still kind of competition, you know what I mean? So but it's getting better. I was lucky enough to have a friend that I was sort of mentoring from in Chicago that shout out to Mario, one of my first apprentices in Chicago. But when I came down here, I just worked with good artists and learned what I could and learned as we were moving around, and it's been great.
Nice. What I want to show your page here real quick.
Mm-hmm.
This is the what is this? DV tattoos.
DV tattoos, yeah.
tattoos.
I'm horrible with social media, just so you know.
No, it's all good.
This is,
Hey, but you're still fair. You still respond.
My original page, at the Dapper Viking, I have like my tattoos in the highlight section, which is what where I posted most of my work. But then somebody's like, "Oh, you gotta have a page just for the tattoos."
Yeah.
So I started this one, and then I forget to post and shit. So,
that happens with this podcast page too. We forget to post on there. It's all
Yeah.
good. Complete Animals, if you guys want to check it out. But there's one particular I wanted to show on here, Joe, is this tattoo right here. Who asked?
Baby.
Who asked for the Arizona sticker?
Believe it or not, it was Dex.
Yeah, I can
Damn, you're that
see
cheap?
Yeah,
but you're cheap
bro.
and you're loyal. You stick to the brand. You stick to the price.
Hey man, you know we all grew up on Arizona, bro.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yo,
To this
you
I don't know
day.
about you guys, but I drank Arizona every day when I was a kid.
Yo, so the thing about that Arizona tattoo was funny. I did pictures for Arizona, and then as a photographer, I'm not a real photographer though, because I don't do it full time. But I did photos for Arizona, and afterwards I was like, "Damn, that'd be a really cool tattoo."
No, dude, are you? That's really you? That's your tattoo?
That's his tattoo.
That's on the back of my
Holy
arm.
Yeah, it's on the back of his arm.
I've never seen that. I was joking around when I picked that.
Oh, I thought that's why you.
I'm like, what human would get that tattoo?
Yeah, bro.
It's actually
it's
on
the back of his arm.
I have this shirt on right now, this Calvin and Hobbes shirt, from Michael Franz out in Atlanta. But anyway, I got the Arizona tattoo just
Folks,
for shits and giggles on
look
the
at
back of
this.
my arm.
I want you to look at this
Yeah.
tattoo. Everybody, look at this thing. This is on Dex Hobbs' body. I swear to you, I did not know whose tattoo this was. I just pulled it up.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
All
it's
right,
Dex.
Dex.
Yeah, it's funny because at the end of the day, who hasn't had a bacon, egg, and cheese and grabbed the Arizona on their way to school? I mean, at least I did. And they actually put that on their Instagram story.
Let's check-
on their page.
Let's check out some of the the tattoo stuff from your highlights here. This is your gun right here?
Yeah, it's my little setup
Okay.
machine. Yeah.
So this is what's this, tribal or something?
Yeah, that was a little tourist tattoo.
Oh, this is dope.
I actually love
Yeah.
this. This is very unique.
Yeah.
Is that a
they
mason
got
jar?
lot of,
Oh, we the people, baby.
yeah, it's a
That's
little mason jar with the flowers coming out.
Yeah, that was dope.
This is cool.
Yeah, this was a lot of this was old work, but this is when I was working at South Beach Tattoo over 9th and Washington.
Nice.
We used to get all sorts of stuff coming in there. It was great though.
Yeah. So, what was what's like the policy when these people come out of Wet Willie's and decide they want to go get a tattoo from you?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I mean, I'm gonna be straight up, bro. I mean, there's a fine line between somebody being buzzed and needing a little bit of kick to get up and sitting in the chair and getting it done, to somebody probably being too inebriated to get tattooed. Right. But when you're tattooing somebody too, you don't want them moving around a lot. And I mean, as we all know, when we get drunk, we don't exactly sit still unless we're passed out. So it's probably not a good idea.
I'm so happy Joe has never seen me as my worst out of 11. I'm so respectful. I'm like, Joe, I got respect for you. I'm going to leave the establishment because I'm drunk. And that's
good. That's
I'm
good.
glad I could say that.
That's good. Yeah. A lot of people don't tend to leave.
Don't.
They just
and
stay.
they embarrass you.
They just stay, bro.
Have you ever had somebody kind of like you thought you did? I mean, and I'm sure you did a great job, but they had second thoughts, and after it was already too late on something, and they try to come back to you and say, "Why'd you do this, man?"
After I was always too ripped. I mean,
too late.
Yeah, I don't think I've had anybody like freak out after they've already gotten the tattoo. I don't know. I mean, I've had people say, like they get in the chair, I get set up, like we're about ready to start, and they'll be like, wait, hold on, I can't do this.
Well, Victor, he started getting his leg down. He couldn't take the pain,
okay.
right?
Victor was a little different story. So Victor, I love you, bro. If you're watching this, but I mean, oftentimes if people get tattooed, especially in an area that's very painful, and they weren't necessarily predicting how painful it was going to be, they can pass out. You know what I mean? Like, your body puts so much adrenaline into your system to combat the pain. And if you're not ready for it, your blood sugar drops.
Victor's
you just
funny.
straight up pass out on the chair.
So who is Victor for people that may not know?
Oh,
He's a good friend of mine. He's actually one of the Scorpion members of the Drip Ninja club, and he actually
that's like God tier.
He's actually one of there's quite a few, but he's one of them original Scorpion members. It's funny because Victor on one of his he was drunk and he got an Off-White inspired tattoo, and he has a tattoo that says leg in parentheses or in quotations on his leg.
literally
it says
it's
leg.
like two quotations. It says leg.
Wow, that's pretty funny. I got to give it to him for that.
Yeah,
one.
that's funny. Victor's a funny guy, man.
So
I've seen some wild tattoos.
for
over these,
people that may have not, I don't have a tattoo. Jay doesn't have a tattoo. For never had one before, but looking to get it. What's the most painful spot? I mean, besides like genitalia or something, or whatever, on your body that you could get one.
I mean, the most painful spot. I mean, honestly, the tattoo that hurt the most on me was my hip, my hip
I was
onto my
trying to get one
ribs.
there.
Woo! and my elbow. The elbow is.
I hear that a
elbow's
lot.
real, bro. That pain is real. But I don't have any on the kneecap because I've heard that's pretty rough, you know.
So it's anywhere that there's like no like fat or anything like on your body, like it's
Yeah,
like
when it's straight
bone.
on the bone, that hurts.
Didn't you
Yeah.
say it's like the elasticity of some people's skin too? Because everyone says that the top of the hand is extremely painful, and I felt absolutely nothing. But when I got my shoulder done, like over here, I thought I was gonna die and pass out because I felt like there was a nerve being hit,
Yeah.
and it was in my neck, and it was the most painful shit I've ever felt. But every other place didn't feel it,
Man.
But that shoulder was the worst.
It's so hard, bro, because everybody's different. You know what I mean? Like I swear, I mean, I've had girls sit down in the chair and do their whole rib cage, and they don't even move. Like they're like absolutely zero pain.
You
Women
think it's like
also
a blood type
push
problem?
babies out, so I mean, I guess they have a higher
Man,
pain
speaking of-
tolerance than
They
speaking
men.
of
definitely
the
have a higher
hip-
pain tolerance. For
Speaking
sure.
of the hip, I was drunk one time and I almost went and got the quagmire face by my hip, like giggity giggity. Yeah, what's
Oh
up?
my
I'm so happy I
God.
didn't. That was a bet. They were like, "Yo, JD, you're gonna get drunk. We're gonna go to the tattoo
You
parlor."
kind of got like a head shape like them,
Oh,
man.
you're gonna get the quagmire head right there, yo. You meet a chick, she like, "Oh hell no."
Why do I feel like that wouldn't be totally inappropriate?
Yo,
For some
why
reason
not,
for you,
yo?
bro? Like,
Giggity giggity, yeah.
Yo, JD would definitely show that to every girl possible.
are
as
you
well.
kidding me?
It's your tattoo.
He knows a girl that looks like Meg from the Family Guy, so it would have
Yo, perfect match.
worked out.
You know a girl that looks like Meg from Family Guy?
Dead ass, bro.
Yes.
I'll show you in a
Yeah.
heartbeat.
Um,
She don't even watch Family Guy. She's what, 32?
But isn't like the whole thing about Meg is like everyone thinks she's like the ugly fuckling?
Yeah.
Wow,
That is pretty much
The
it.
ugly duckling? I mean, that's like the theme of the Family Guy.
apparently,
no one-
apparently, Meg's supposed to be fire as hell under her clothes. Kind of like that person
No,
too.
JD's been looking at the porno
I
version
think
of
Joe
Family Guy.
knows this woman too, so we're not gonna mention the name.
Oh damn.
The association this woman has, I think Joe definitely knows.
Can we put her picture up on the screen without posting it so I know who he's talking
Oh,
about?
no.
JD might have to show you on his phone or something.
Later.
Like,
Yeah,
I
so
gotta know who looks like Meg.
Joe, would you consider doing something like Ink Master? I'm sure you kind of saw the guys from Ink Master down on South Beach. Like,
Yeah. I've met Ami a bunch of times. Met a lot of these guys, but I mean, Ink Master's really cool. I love the show. I think I like the whole setup. I just personally, I like to take my time. I don't like to feel rushed, and that's like, it's part of a premise of the show is to like, do it within a certain time. So I don't know. Who knows? Maybe one day.
All right, dope. So, besides being an artist, you're wearing that 11 hat. If people don't know what 11 is, it's a
People
pretty
don't know what 11 is.
pretty popular place in Miami. So, listen, Joe, why don't you explain what the place called 11 is? How do you like it to describe it?
Well, it's exactly what you think it is. No, I mean it's Miami's Ultra Club. It's it's honestly it's one of the only of its kind that I feel like, I mean, we have everything from your top notch DJs who come in and throw on a show to Zantra and performer dancers. Then we have a whole theatrical department that puts on Cirque du Soleil shows and fire shows and stuff like that. We have an actual we're also a cabaret, so we have dancers everywhere and private rooms and the whole thing. It's really dope. It's a cool venue.
And the
It's kind of one of those
cuisine.
like you have to be there to see it to know what it's about.
Yeah, you
kind
got
of
up
thing,
there at 3 in the morning on the
And the cuisine. Let me explain something to you about
And
the
the food is
chicken.
fire,
The chicken
man.
wings.
At 11. The chicken products at 11
Absolutely,
put
man.
Chick-fil-A to shame.
And they're open on Sunday too, right?
And they're open on
Yeah,
Sunday.
and we are open on Sundays.
So, folks, I don't know if you like to use the word gentleman's club or strip club or whatever you like to use. That's basically what people may know 11 as. But it's like you said, it's a lot more than that. Why is it the destination now? This is where everybody decides to go to when they come down. You have to make a trip to come see
You have to. I mean, and pretty soon you're going to be able to stay there too.
Oh.
We got the 11 hotel.
11 residences and is it
Yeah.
and a hotel?
It's hotel and residences.
Oh my
yeah.
god, this shit.
Yeah.
This is.
I saw Connor
it's too
Wade
much.
Ben Boo been
Yep,
promoting it.
yep.
They
Yeah,
got-
we have it's 65 stories, 297 units. It's gonna have a day club, nightclub, probably lounge area inside. We have a sports book in there.
Oh,
We're gonna have a
even
bunch of
better.
restaurants. So yeah, no, it's
The
gonna be
sports book's gonna
amazing.
draw more businesses. That's great.
Yeah. It's gonna be
Definitely.
the only. I mean, I don't know too many sports books outside of Hard Rock right now. So
yeah, that's perfect. It's
Yeah.
in a prime location. It's not in Broward.
So that's about 100 different ways to lose your entire life savings in one day. Only one.
I didn't say it was gonna be
Well,
cheap.
not if you
that's
work.
for sure.
Not if you work for the 11 brand.
Right,
It's
right,
a great
you work for 11
opportunity
is a different
to,
story, yeah.
start a very plentiful savings.
Right.
Yeah.
So
using other people's savings.
in Chicago, did you work in nightlife, or how did you even get into this whole thing?
I've been in nightlife forever, man. My first gig working nightlife, I was working the door at a club in Chicago. I was like 15, 16. It was like an 18 and older club, and I got in there and
You had to wear a suit for
the owner thought I was older, and so I was like, I got the job.
It's like when Bart Simpson was making Manhattans.
Yes, exactly.
Bart
should get that
Simpson-
Well, I
tattoo.
mean, I wasn't,
get
I
that
wasn't,
tattoo.
I wasn't a small guy either, so it was a little, it was a little more easier to believe at the time.
When Bart,
I mean, I didn't have a beard or anything, but it was there.
So, and then how long did it take when you moved down to Miami to kind of start working in this company?
Well, actually, I started working immediately. I had came down, for like, 3-4 days at a time. Me and my wife would come down and just check out different spots and, look at different sections of the city, see where we wanted to live. Miami's kind of weird. It's, Chicago's different. You kind of already know where, where the heart of everything is. Miami's just all over the place. You get a Brickell, Design District, South Beach, North Beach, so we would stay in different Airbnbs when we came down, just kind of checked out each area. And then I interviewed at 11 and snagged the job. And
yeah, you've been there with
rest
them
is
since
history.
2013, when they first opened.
2016. I came on a couple years after they opened.
So yeah, I didn't really
First
go-
year,
yeah.
first couple years were real growth periods, though. When I came on, we were kind of like just started really, really taking off. So it was good. It was a good time.
Yeah, but I remember you from the beginning, and then you just went up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, JD remembers you being a young whippersnapper.
Nah.
Little young bucket.
He was firm in what he was doing.
Yeah.
So what your title is VIP manager? Is that correct?
Yeah.
And what does that entail?
Everybody that wants to come to the venue and spend money is a VIP. So, we look after everybody, but, mainly just, hosting our guests when they come in and making sure everything's organized and everything runs smoothly and, everybody's sitting where they want to sit and appropriate and pricing works out and, we kill it at the end of the night. There's not much that goes on in the venue that doesn't involve what we do. So
it's an offer you
it's kind of
can't
hard,
refuse.
if I'm standing at the bar and somebody needs a drink and there's no bartender there, I might go around the bar and just make a drink for them. Right. So it's it's everything. You know what I mean?
What do you? The amount of spending that goes on at 11, I cannot imagine. Like,
Yeah,
we've seen people throw bricks of money, like just in clips randomly. So, let alone how much like a bottle costs, or something like that. What do you think is the craziest or most night of like spending that you helped facilitate for like one client?
I didn't necessarily help facilitate him coming in, but I was a big part of him processing the transactions in the venue because he was, paying on Bitcoin. He, a couple of guys, went through almost, $800,000 in singles in one night.
Oh my gosh!
Damn. $800,000 in singles.
We're girls running out like wild animals trying to catch all.
It was
that?
actually a little difficult because
You guys have to
we
request
haven't really dealt with that level of spend in one time. You know what I mean? So, obviously we have the girls that we have at the table, but money was just everywhere. You know what I mean? Like you couldn't walk within 15, 20 feet of that table and not be stepping on a dollar bill. You know what I mean? So there was money everywhere. So there was girls
$800,000 in singles.
That's basically $1 million, like after taxes.
What does that even look like? Like on the it's got to be like Scrooge McDuck.
I actually had a
Scrooge
video.
McDuck.
Scrooge McDuck.
I had a video of when we were walking through the hallways because we went up to the private room for a portion of it, and we were walking up there and we were carrying 80,000 in singles, and it was basically 4 bags, about this big, about that thick, that wide, and there's 4 of us, carrying these bags up to the private room, and that was only 80,000. So
Wow.
yeah.
So did you guys have to request like a Brinks truck because it was last minute?
we were very lucky at that time that he came in. Was probably the most opportune time.
It was not like a Saturday or Friday
that day where we had enough cash to solidify everything.
So you're dealing with like casino level almost kind of currency sometimes. And so is there a casino level type security situation that people get thrown out of the back and stuff like that?
As far as our security goes, we have a very white glove.
Shout out to Derek Henry.
Security. Yeah, I mean Derek and Adam. The whole team. As far as the security goes, is extremely good. We take our time, getting people out of the venue and then kind of discussing, what the situation was. That way, we don't disturb the party. A lot of my clients will go in and my guests will say, man, I rarely see any problems here. You know what I mean? And there's problems all night. You know what I mean? We deal with them, outside of the party. That way it doesn't disturb anything going on, So, but no, shout out to the security team is phenomenal.
It was definitely one of the most professional nightclub establishments I've ever been in.
Yeah, Dex would like to thank you, Joe, because it was one of the easiest times he's ever been thrown out. He didn't even
honestly, it's funny that I've had somebody. This happened to me a few months ago. I was in 11 and I had went with one of my homegirls and we were standing at the bar and a guy walks up to her into her face and he gets like 5 inches from her face. He just starts staring and I'm standing next to her, but I took it as disrespectful because he didn't know what level even though it's just my homegirl, he didn't know the capacity of why I was with her, and he just walked up. And he looks at me and said, "You good?" And I was just like, "Yo, dude, can you back up for a second?"
It's pretty aggressive.
And then he looks at me and he's like looking at me like, "You gonna do something?" And he pulls a stack of money out of his pocket and he bounces it off my forehead.
Okay, yeah, no.
I've never heard this. This is great.
Wait, no, he bounces the money off my forehead. Now, mind you, like that day. I was at that point. He was doing that at a time where I was doing martial arts training like 4 hours a day, every single day, and I'm just like sitting there and I'm like looking at him, and I know that within like 8 seconds I can like annihilate this guy's life. And I look over to the security guard, and then something clicks in my mind and says, "You know what, Dex? I worked with 11 for a summer doing photography, and I was fortunate enough to meet everybody there." And get respect from a lot of the people that work there and become part of that 11 family for a little bit. And everyone knows me. And I said, the last thing I want to do is be kicked out and banned from a place that I'm so welcome.
Right.
So I just looked to the security guard and it's like, yo, this guy is really pushing my buttons. Can you just deal with him? And it was a security guard that remembered me from when I was shooting. They came and they assembled like Voltron and grabbed this dude and they hauled him out and threw him out the back door.
Yes, sir.
And he was gone in like 2 minutes. And I was like, it felt better to just be like, yo, get him out of here. And they just take him out than to sit there and just pop off for no reason. Yep. But this dude literally bounced a stack of singles off my forehead.
All I can envision is like Debo, R.I.P. Debo, Tiny Lister, just like standing there like grunting at you and just smacking some dollars off your head.
No, he bounced a stack.
Were they still wrapped? They were still wrapped?
He was like this fat, you know what it was? He was like this fat he looked like Fat Joe a little bit. He had a New York fitted on. He was definitely in dead ass mode, and I was just like, bro, like
he was on dead ass mode.
He was just trying to act hard for no reason, and I'm just like, you know what? It's funny because back where I'm from in New York, that's what people do. Like they just act hard for no reason. And now that I've been living in Miami 6 years, I finally got that out of my system. And you realize, like, listen, all this extra confrontation shit is just not worth my time. And you know that you could really like hurt. This guy was like drunk too. I was sober.
So you said he was Fat Joe. You were not Q-Tip in that movie. Remember when Q-Tip threw Fat Joe off the train?
Prison Song.
That was a cold movie.
You know what's funny? I've seen Prison Song maybe about 50 times, and I've never seen the beginning.
Because it's a BET Blackbuster special. Every Saturday they play.
They played that movie. They played that movie and Baby Boy every Friday.
Oh, and the one where Ving Rhames dresses in drag as well. It's like a Christmas movie. You guys should check that one out.
Classic.
It's definitely a Blackbuster experience.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So Joe, back to you, man. I'm sorry. Sorry, Dex wanted to
I'm
go.
sorry to interrupt you with my single.
I was entertained by that story.
No, Dex, thank you for telling us that, because most gentlemen wouldn't put their ego out there like that.
I don't have an ego.
You got
I don't have an ego.
Listen, I agree with Dex though. It's a better idea to just let it go or get one of the security.
Because
You know
They
what's
treat
even
me
more
well
upsetting?
there.
It's not even the fact that you can't even go in there and see the amazing shows and performances, but imagine getting banned from the
Yeah,
place
that's
that has the
embarrassing.
best chicken products
oh my gosh, this
at
guy
4
is
a.m.
chicken.
Imagine you see
Dex loves his chicken.
You see
bro.
Red so busy, he's like, no, bro. And he's like,
They'd be like,
You're
if
banned, you're
anyone
banned,
asked me
you're
if I was
banned.
going to go vegan or become a vegetarian, I'd be like, as long as 11's still in business, I am not doing that. Once 11 will stay in business. But if 11 ever closes doors, then I'd consider changing my dietary options. But until then,
and it's,
I will eat
and it's
chicken.
worth the price.
It was actually kind of funny because we did have somebody who had gotten 86 for a few months, and he actually showed up. It was like 2 weeks later, and he shows up, and I mean, this is somebody we all know, and like, I walked up and I was like, hey, bro, like, you got a couple months before you can come back. He's like, yeah, no, I know, I'm not coming inside. I'm like, what are you doing over here? He's like, yo, can I order some chicken sliders to go? And I was like,
Yo, we gotta
I
go.
mean, yeah, all right. So he's just staying out here. So we ordered some chicken sliders and had him to go.
You guys are making me want to go over there and do a Food Network style review of all this.
Nah,
Dude,
man.
the chicken products over there, and they have a Big Mac pizza. I'm not really a fan of the Big Mac, but everyone loves the Big Mac pizza, and the fries are amazing.
Well, so check this out. I understand that people are drinking, and then you want kind of like bar food and stuff like that as you're drinking. But do you really want to have that kind of sloppy stuff around naked women? Like, how does that work?
I mean, usually
Yes.
when the pizza comes out, the dancers leave. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they
Tony's
necessarily
gonna
give you a lap dance while you have a pizza in your hand.
Food and who's there for the dancers.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah, because all I can picture is a Sopranos like extra, like just shoveling it down while a girl's like sitting over there.
Can we feed them? I never really.
I mean, I'm not
offered
gonna. No, don't feed the dancers.
What do you want to like bird?
Don't
feed
feed the
them?
dancers.
like
no.
twink. Yeah, okay.
It's like that sign where you said, "Don't feed the birds, don't feed the
Yeah.
dancers." All right?
Oh, here's another taboo thing. Is it taboo to pick up money and put it on the stage for the dancer or something like that? Like,
yeah,
Don't do that.
yeah. Don't pick up money.
Don't touch it.
This is the way I look at it.
Even if that
Don't-
shit's on your shoulder, you don't
yeah.
touch it. Don't
You're
touch
just
it.
gonna
You shake it
shimmy
off.
it off. You know?
You gotta shake it off.
Nah, bro. This is the way I look at it. I don't touch money that's not mine. You know what I mean? Like,
Thank you.
If I threw it and there's like a couple dollars on the floor or something, you know what I mean? I want to make sure it gets on stage, whatever. You know?
I'm thinking, should I have picked up the money that the guy bounced off my forehead?
You feel like you deserve like 20 of
was
that?
that- like, did I get anything for that? But no.
It's
You
the-
know?
it's
Let me
a
ask you.
dollar.
Let me ask you. Were you naked at this time?
No, actually,
then none of the money's yours.
I looked, one of the buses looked up and he came out with a little fucking broom and pan, and he was just like, he swept it away.
Swept
There was
it
no
up.
dancers around at all. I was just like, there was just a spot with no dancers and decks standing there and money being bounced off my
money.
forehead. And I'm just like, yo, am I gonna get something for this? I feel like I need to go tip the DJ. I was like,
Another weird question: do the girls get in a fight in the back about the tips? Like in what's that movie, Ali Berry? And
Oh no, Players Club? Is
I
that
mean,
Baps?
listen.
Baps?
I mean, listen, bro.
No.
There's when you have that many females collectively in a group, there's probably bound to have some fights. I mean, it's understandable. I don't want to go into any details, but there's
we get the picture.
and then you throw a whole bunch of money involved.
We're trying to-
I mean, it's yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to do anything when there's 800,000 singles around it and they're swimming in it. Like,
Right. Yeah, there's no cat fights in that at all. I'm sure.
100,000 goddamn singles.
So you guys have a lot of artists come through, and I'm sure a lot of like internet celebrities or just celebrities in general. Does the club itself give them money to throw just to throw out there?
I mean, sometimes sometimes it could be part of the contract too. I mean, if we book somebody and they want to include a certain amount in singles, or a lot of times artists will come and they'll be ready to throw bread because they're like we're in a strip club, you know what I mean, and I want to throw money on stage or whatever. They'll ask for some money and we'll send it out. But I mean, most of the time, if it's not in contract, I mean, that's their money. Wow. You know what I mean? They're throwing their money. So they see artists on stage throwing 10, 15 bands. I mean, that's on them.
Yeah, it's on you.
The other thing that we learned at the door, at 11? Because we got to talk about the door. It's very, very interesting. I think JD and I learned this personally. Girls, it doesn't matter how many girls you bring to the club, because it's like bringing sand to the beach. There's so many girls inside the club, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, it's probably one of the few clubs that don't care about ratio really, because we always have a good ratio.
Right.
I mean, we pretty much always have 2 to 1, at any given time.
Yeah.
So. I mean,
right. So somebody, they may not be approaching you, but they're just approaching the door in general. What's the proper way to come up and just see, like, how's the night going? What should I do?
Listen, man, like I've for the majority of my career in nightlife, I've worked at the door, you know what I mean? And so I've seen it all. I've seen people walk up sloppy, I've seen people walk up egotistical, I've seen people walk up, whatever. Like, oh, I know this person, I should be walking in right away, blah, blah, blah. Personally, like, I think, when you're walking up to the door of a club, I mean, you're asking this from like a perspective of any club.
Well,
right?
yeah. No, actually, I want to know about 11, because we see tourists, we do see celebrities.
They have a line for that.
It's all different types of people trying to come basically into the same entrance.
Sure, yeah. So I mean, you see a lot of that chaos happening on the outside, but a lot of that is actually pre-set up. So most of the nights, like, our VIP team, I mean, we sell out the club, most nights before we even open the door. So we have the reservations coming in. We know who's about to show up. Obviously, there's always people that show up, that we didn't know about, you know what I mean? But they usually, somebody from either their camp or whatever reaches out to us, 20, hopefully 30 minutes before they arrive, and we make accommodations and make it work. But if you're just like a regular person, like, showing up to a club, I mean, first thing I'd say is, do your research on the club. You know what I mean? Like, know where you're going. Like, if it's a club, I mean, one of my biggest pet peeves is I'll have, for lack of better names, Karen, come up to the ropes, and she'll be like, oh, I'm here with my 13 girls, and it's Susie's bachelorette party. You know what I mean? And we need to get in, and I'll be like, did you make a reservation? And she's like, no. Did I need to? I'm like, this is Saturday night. We're one of the top nightclubs in the world, and you walk up with 13 girls and just assume it's all going to be good. Right. You know what I mean? And then by the end of it, Karen's yelling at me because I ruined Susie's bachelorette party. You know what I mean?
Well, like, should have gotten
that's just how it goes. So I think, doing your research and knowing where you're going first, is going to help. I mean, I've even had people book, tables at 11, and they show up and they have to leave because, their wife in the group didn't know that there were dancers there. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Yeah, it's like when my family went to Hooters, my mom didn't know that's what
yeah, it's a little similar to Hooters, just a little less clothing. You know what I mean? Like, we still have chicken wings. You know what I mean? Like, it's,
I heard it's really good.
Yo,
the
chicken wings.
Right, here we go. But no, I think honestly, being polite is everything. Like I've seen people who got less than they actually deserved because of their attitude. You know what I mean? Like, your attitude is number one, So like, if you walk up assuming that you should be getting everything, and I mean, you're not there, like that, you're going to get less, and I've seen guys who get, a lot more than they actually deserve because they have a great attitude. When they walk up, they're, hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Everything's cool. I'm here whenever you guys are ready. You know what I mean? And, some of those guys get more than they probably should because of their attitude. You know what I mean? They're just straight up good attitude,
See, look, folks watching and listening right now, this is great advice. All right,
gems.
This is gems. I'm dropping gems right now, man.
Well,
JD.
So how about?
Damn,
there's the tourists we talked about. There's people who think they deserve stuff, but then there's people that just don't care. If anybody try to like bum rush the door and just like with like 30 dudes or something like that,
I would never do that. That's embarrassing. You get tackled by a bouncer and you would banned.
Yeah, bro. That's not, honestly, I've never seen like a collective bum rush to the door. But I mean, you do, like, when there's, 300-400 people outside standing there, and especially like if it's an event where, we're solid, tables are sold out and sat down, rooms too busy to let anybody in. We're pretty much at a door hold, and I mean, everybody's standing outside, and, we can't really let anybody in unless, it's like super, super VIP kind of thing. then you have people that like, try to walk under the gate or, try to walk in through the side. The other day,
I never understood that when there's like a stanchion or a rope, and people just think like, I'm just gonna stick my head under here, and there's 200 people in front of the door.
Right, like what did you think was gonna happen?
It's like, whoa, what do you think what are you doing? Like, no, I was just going in. No, you're not. And then they're like, now you're not going in tonight. And I'm just looking like, who does that? Like, what?
That rope is not like, I mean, it's a piece of fabric, you know what I mean? But it's
a prop.
It's a prop. It's to show you.
It's a symbolism.
You can't go past here. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a symbol of hold the fuck up.
Right.
Wait a
Slow down.
Wait a minute,
Talk
motherfucker.
to somebody. There's somebody else that knows how to open up.
I wonder if
this
they
rope.
do that. If they would do that. If there's like police 9 do not cross, and they're like, I'm just trying to go over here. And they're like, are you serious?
I'm gonna
right
be honest.
now?
Probably one of the craziest things I just saw this last weekend for Rolling Loud. I'm walking up from our corporate office, and I'm walking across the street, and I'm going through the side, and all of a sudden I randomly see this girl trying to crawl up the fire escape up the side of the building.
Of 11?
Is
Of
this
11.
is this while the
Yeah.
club is like popping?
Yeah, no,
or
we're up. Yeah. Like this is the middle of the night.
That sounds like a Grand Theft Auto
And
mission.
I was like,
right
yo,
there.
what are you doing? And she gets down. She's like, I'm so sorry. I just wanted to go inside the club, and I need to see the inside of this club. And, blah, blah, blah. And it just like, dude, give me this whole sob story. And I'm like,
Wait, she tried to
just,
get in the
like,
club by
literally put your
climbing
life
up the
at
fire
risk.
escape. Because 11
Right.
has a rooftop.
Right. But you can't access the club from there. So it's,
One thing
she would have got up there and been real disappointed. Let me tell you,
That's crazy. Like, people want to get in 11s. That you guys need to take note of this.
Listen,
This is
people
how
are-
you know
people are
it's
climbing up
time to
fire
make
escapes.
reservations at 11 tonight, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, because motherfuckers is climbing the fire escape trying to get into the goddamn
And
club.
one thing I'm gonna tell you guys, Joe knows how to leave his heart at home. So you can't play that sympathy game with him. All right?
Yeah,
Look at the man's eye.
JD tries to take his glasses off and give him the puppy.
Come on, man. Nah. My only issue with Joe, once in a while, he was always right. I'll come last minute, because I never planned to go. I could have give a heads up. And that's it. And that's just, it's always like that. Let me know in advance. It's simple.
and that's kind of the thing too. Like, I even asked that of my guests who were spending money. It's like, look, I could accommodate you all I want, but like,
Hold on, bring that
you
back.
gotta-
Hold on, you were talking about JD. He doesn't spend money. That's a little weird, JD.
Nah, I
JDD
go-
is taken
Oh,
care
no,
of. So
I'm not.
I'll still go to the bar. I'll buy chicken wings. I owe you chicken wings. Next time we go,
I'll buy the chicken
mark my
wings.
words.
You owe me chicken.
Hell yeah.
somebody's gonna.
You owe me chicken.
Somebody
bro.
listening to this is gonna think we're like a chicken spot or something. Like, they'll be like,
Dude, shout out to the
I don't know
chicken
what's going on with 11,
Yo,
but I need to try to slide
we're not a chicken spot, but shout out to the chicken spot on South Beach and at the Wharf.
Yeah, bro.
Because if you're
Chris
a
is
Drip
my
Ninja member,
boy.
you get
What was that
everything
chicken
$5
video?
in the menu all the time. Just
Chicken
saying.
spot's fire. Actually,
What
I'm not
just
gonna lie.
happened, Dex?
Don't
He
you
just
dare
jumped-
do
he
that.
just dropped the plug.
Don't do that. Don't do that. All right, listen. So you mentioned earlier that you have a wife, and then also on your Instagram you can check that out. Can you keep a relationship while working at a strip club, quote unquote strip club?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of us that are in relationships.
I
Now
think
I'm
there are
thinking
more
about it,
happy
maybe not.
couples that work. I think 11 has more
Maybe not
happy
that
couples
much.
that work within 11 than I've ever seen.
I think Joe's a very happy relationship. You know how I know that? He doesn't remember the girls' names that work there. That just tells you he's fucking happy and satisfied. I was like,
There's like 11.
know.
There's
Like,
probably 11
Amanda?
couples engaged to get married within 11.
Okay.
I'm
there's
not even
there's
joking.
babies having. I mean, there's
Oh my
everything,
god.
bro.
Oh my god.
There's like real people that work there.
I be seeing
have real
couples.
lives.
I be watching couples post their peanut butter sandwiches on the stories.
All right. Well, listen, that's good.
Without the crust?
It's good. It's good to hear that you're like that because you're doing a job. Like you said, you work at the office and then you come over there and everything else. It's just like a job. But let's talk about the people that maybe aren't like you that might work there. Is dating a stripper? Does that ever work out?
It hasn't worked out great for me in the past. Let me tell you. But I mean, listen, there's a few that's worked out very well for. But I don't think dating within where you're working is a good idea, and any workplace really, to be honest. But it's unfortunate because you spend a lot of your time there. You spend your life there. But Dex,
What's up, Dex?
I just want to let you know that just because it's 11 there are many different people I work with. There are cocktail servers. There are
That's
dancers.
true, yeah.
There are massage
I'm
girls.
specifically asking
and the massage
about
girls at 11 are
strippers.
no, but the massage girls.
Listen,
those are the
massage
gems,
girls.
man.
I mean, that's the gem right there.
Those
man.
are the gems. Those are
I don't know. Anybody that's never been to 11, when you go to 11, you need to get yourself a massage. I mean,
massage
there's like,
girls.
But man,
That
I don't
is
know how I feel
everything.
about that girl. I'm kidding. Nah.
no, they're good girls.
The Zantra
man.
dancers.
Massage girls are great. The Zantra dancers.
Shout out to the
go-go
Zantra dancers. I'm sorry.
The out of town strippers, you know, that try to have you take them to, I don't know, on the weekends on their off days. Shout out to you, but nah, I'm good.
Has that happened to you before? So they try to take you to like a Motel 6 and set you up or something?
Nah, they're pretty dope intellectual girls. I'd met one. She's actually a pretty good artist now. I think Joe might know her. I think her name is actually.
Did you really do that?
She does. No, nothing ever happened. That was just cool. Nothing ever happened like that. But like, she's a great artist. Shout out to her.
Yeah.
But nah, nothing with no dates. It's just following them, just getting to know them. It's just wow. They're very artsy.
Oh, so you go around and just get people's Instagrams from inside?
Nah, you interact with them. It was years ago. I thought this person even remembers that, but like I've noticed that most of these strippers, their head is there. They're very artistic people. They're just in their own world.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like the occupation in and of itself is just, you know, it's obviously not for everybody, but I mean, you know, if it's something that, you know, you're willing to do, I mean, you know, you can make a lot of revenue from it. I mean, there's girls that open up businesses from
a
lot of
them
money
have
that she's
goals.
made, and
You could become the next biggest rapper.
could become a rapper. I mean, you know,
We were talking about this earlier,
Yeah.
right?
Dex brought this up that he thinks this year, 2021, between 2020 and 2021 is the most times that they've booked like female artists as headliners at 11.
it's actually true.
That
yeah.
makes
Yeah,
bring
I've
more
seen it,
money.
yeah.
It's actually
Imagine you
true,
got
yeah.
Cardi B and Megan. You're gonna
There's a
bring
lot
more
of
money.
women coming up in the game.
A lot
You
of
know
it,
what I mean?
yeah.
A lot of women.
That's what I said. This is the
Carla Roy, hell nah. What you did at Rolling Loud, little girl.
whoa.
Benzino, get your daughter, bro.
Stop, JD.
Nah, bro, that was embarrassing.
I don't know if you
I saw
this
that
rapper
clip.
Coil Ray. People are I guess hating on her just because she's a thin girl, but she likes to twerk a lot, and I don't know. People just don't like her for some reason. I think she's great, but this is like kind of the first time that we're seeing that there hasn't been just like a one female artist at a time. Like before it was like Little Kim only, then it was like Nicki Minaj only, whatever. Now you have so many to choose from. So does that do you notice like a difference in crowds like when maybe you have a female headliner?
I mean, yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, it seems to be like there's a lot of women that come to 11. There's a
it's
ton of women that come to 11.
Still welcome.
Yeah,
11's gonna be an
there's-
amazing time no matter who's performing it, and
Yeah.
the performances always are amazing, and they're just an add-on to like this experience.
Hey Joe,
Yeah, it really is,
Joe,
like-
Joe, real quick.
Yeah.
Listen, Dex is gonna prove to you how much he can help promote your business by the end of the show. I guarantee.
I haven't gone there as much as I used to go, but I love 11, man.
Yeah,
and
it's a
let me
great
say
club,
something
man.
about 11. The chicken wings there.
All right,
Oh,
buddy.
here we go.
All right. Well, so what is your like normal workday hours? And because I need to know this, dude, because it's open 24 hours a day. So who knows what time you have to get there, and then what time during those hours can you leave your post and go inside and kind of check things out?
I mean, well,
Anytime.
right now we're only open Thursday to Sunday from 8 to 8. We're getting staffed up to ready to go 24/7 again. But I usually go in around 8 and I leave around 8. So
Wow.
it's usually the shift. But I mean, it really depends on, you know, what time things die down. I mean, pre-pandemic, you know, we'd be out of there sometimes 11:30. I mean, you know, it really just depends on what time the party died down, you know. We obviously have a day crew that comes in, you know, and like kind of fills positions, but you know, obviously management, you know, we stay around and make sure everything, you know, if a guest stays, you know, we've had guests stay for like 72 hours, you know.
Oh my gosh,
Dude,
there were
straight up.
no drugs involved in that at all. I'm
No,
sure.
no,
Yeah,
not at all,
Not at all. I know it. It's kind of like a YouTube challenge. 72 hours in a strip club.
Yeah, you would have thought he was trying to do a challenge, to be honest.
He was definitely doing some kind
He
of
was-
challenge.
yeah,
I guarantee
yeah,
that.
One weird story from 11. I gotta tell y'all.
Here we go.
There was this random dude. I guess we're about a bar, and he went asking one of the bouncers for a Magnum, a condom. He's like, "Bro, ask me that one more time." Kicking her. I said, "What do you mean? It's illegal to ask for a condom in a strip club, bro. That's like you just trying to do prostitution." And he goes, he educated me on that. I'm like, "Yo, thanks for the heads up." Damn, that was embarrassing.
Who, the bartender, when you asked him?
No, there was a guy by the bar. He was chilling, And I guess he thinks he's probably gonna hit it with some random tourist girl he met, and he went asking the bouncer for a condom.
Yeah.
And he comes at me. He's like, he tells me, "You know Derek." I'm like, Derek knows that guy's out.
Hey, Dex, isn't this weird? Like, a lot of people ask JD for condoms. Did you ever notice that?
Oh yeah,
You know what?
a
they
girl.
asked him, and it doesn't even have to be at 11. It could be at the Oasis.
Yeah, it could be a lot of
It could be
whole
at Coyo
shit
Taco.
for that, bro.
For some reason, they just like think that
comfortable.
JD walks around with condoms.
Something about you screams, "I have condoms." Is
Hey,
what it is.
listen, churches. I heard churches. Y'all own Trojan. Come on, sponsor us. You know,
Yeah.
we want to promote safe
Yeah,
sex.
you know, it's actually, a funny story about actually 11 is Irma. I remember when some of the power went out on the beach and everybody had ran and left town. And I remember I came back a little bit early and 11 was like open and had power. And I think, I can't remember, I remember this vaguely, but there was nowhere to go and they were shutting the bridges down at like 2 a.m. or something.
Yeah.
They're like, you cannot come across the bridge.
Yep.
And I had lived on the beach with my boys. We all lived on the beach. And we were like, dude, like, we want to go to the other side of town, but like, if we don't make it back in time, what are we going to do? And we was like, yo, let's just take refuge in 11. Just stay there. Because it was 24/7.
That's right.
So we would just go to 11 and be like, we got to stay here until we can go on the bridge again. Where them chicken wings?
Yeah, but that's amazing. 11 opened their doors to you, and Joel Osteen didn't even open his doors to people in Houston. When-
I took refuge in 11 for sure.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
We were open.
What's the number one common misconception about somebody in your position, you think?
I think a lot of people think that people that work the door or VIP hosts in general are just douchebags. I think that's kind of the thing. I remember coming from Chicago. It was like the term promoter. Was like that. You know what I mean? It was like if you were a promoter, you were automatically a douchebag. You know what I mean? It was just what it was. It was like part of the job. But no. I mean, obviously nightlife in general is elevated and how it operates and how people go and get through and. I think that's kind of the most misconception, is that we're all just a bunch of douchebags and we want to we want to be the coolest guys out there, and in reality we're all sweating because we have somebody else on the way and we're trying to figure it out and there's a whole
That must be the craziest, like, what's it called that UPS does when they logistics, like of trying to like figure when one party comes in, one party leaves. Like
we're just trying to play Tetris all night long, and it's like moving reservations around to fit this and that, and this group that booked a table for 10 people now has 20 people, but they're willing to spend whatever. It doesn't matter, you know what I mean? Like now we got to accommodate this table, and that's really where like. The most stressful parts of it come into play,
I can imagine. What is the best spot in the house, for one, and then two, are there any hidden areas that us peons will never see?
Well, best spot, I think it depends on who you're talking to. Some people, the owner's booth is right outside the pit. It's a glassed-in table. It's the best table in the house, in my opinion. We have a new section where we just remodeled upstairs that have new booths. And one of the booths is, the last booth is just, it's pretty dope. It's huge. You got an overview of the entire club. It's definitely the spot to be in.
Way more low key.
Yeah. It's definitely more low key. You can't really be seen up there.
Have you been there, JD?
Yeah, and I actually ran into Diddy up there, and he was having a whole conversation. I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? I gotta go. This girl brought me up there, and she introduced me to him, and I was like, okay, what's my really purpose here? But yeah, it was a good time.
Nice.
Hidden places in the club. Yeah, I mean we have a private bar. That is where the private rooms are.
That's by the entrance, right? When you walk in.
When you walk into the right up the stairs. Yeah. So we have it's a private bar up there. But I mean, as long as you know people or you're doing a private room, you get to see that. But
nice.
But like, not everybody gets to see that. It's true.
That's like Disneyland, a 33 club underneath Disney. You guys should check that out.
Have you guys ever had to kick out a guy? He got a lap dance and he harassed one of the dancers. That's embarrassing.
He harassed one.
Like, let's say,
JD,
no.
That's bad basic.
Like,
yeah, I'm sure.
What if like, yo, he gets a
I
lap
feel like that
dance?
shit happens at Target.
Exactly. It's like, sir,
Like, sir, you gotta go. Like,
gotta go.
What the fuck you mean?
Yeah, people get weird. I mean, there's a bunch of weird guys out there.
Oh, we know.
Yeah, I mean, they get thrown out. They get escorted and banned from the Oasis for a few weeks.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, she actually
Right.
apologized, guys. She bought me a
She's
shot.
like, she
How much is-
apologized.
how much
Even
is-
the bouncer was like, "Yo,
how much is
bro,
that
bro,
for the
I'm
night?"
so sorry. I didn't know you knew the owner like that." I was like, "You didn't have to go that far."
Oh.
But she apologized.
This would be something we could ask Joe real quick.
Because Joe, they would have never done it that
Yeah.
way. No, it would have been done smoother. Trust
let me ask you, Joe. Okay, so this is what happens.
Right.
Let's just say a random person sitting in this room, we don't know who it is,
Okay.
might have walked up to his waitress and he's like, he wants to get a bottle. That's what he tells us. He wants to get a bottle,
But
but
when I want to get another bottle because
Yeah,
my friend's
yeah.
bottle, I want to buy the other one. What's
he points at her and says, "How much? How much?" She's Eastern European, so she may not interpret it correctly and thinks that he's asking for a prostitute or something.
How
like
much
that.
she is, yeah.
Correct. And
What's the nice special? What's the rate?
now, what do you think should have been done in this situation? What actually happened, JD? You
So I'm thinking she's gonna come back with the bottle menu or a scan thing. 10 minutes later, the security guard bouncer comes. "Hey, bro, you're banned. You can't be here." Nothing. The GM comes, doesn't even explain. He's like, "Bro, you have my girls crying, man. That was wrong." I'm like, "Huh? What?" I'm with this whole group, and then, yeah, it's not like let's talk about it. You're actually gonna
Right.
spend money. Nope.
Yeah. Yeah, bad miscommunication.
Yeah, because I'm sure there's women from all over the world that are in 11.
Yeah.
So there may be some kind of miscommunication there all the time. Like, how do you guys kind of mediate that?
To be honest, there's you know, you got to remember there's guys coming from Europe where prostitution is very legal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, you know, a lot of times, I mean, I can't even tell you how many situations I've had where, you know, guys will come in, like they literally had a guy one time come up and, you know, clearly, you know, German, Eastern European, whatever it was, and he was like, I would like to make a complaint, and I'm like, oh, well, what happened? He's like, I took this girl for a dance, she's no fuck. And I was like, I was like real confused, you know. I was like, okay, and he's like,
That might be the funniest.
Bro,
that might be the funniest clip of
Picture
the whole
security
show.
team like all
no,
ganged
and
up.
like, you know, and here's the thing too. Like, I mean, you know, when it comes to situations in the club, you know, the VIP host team tries to step in first because, you know, we try to mitigate stuff, right? You know,
course.
again, could be a miscommunication. JD may have wanted to know how much the Don Julio was when really she thought she was, you know, he
Exactly.
wanted
She
to know
wasn't
how much
pretty.
she was, you know, might have been paying the same amount, whatever, you know what I mean? Like,
it definitely would have been the same amount.
right. So, you know, but I mean, this guy was like, you know, he was about to file a complaint, you know what I mean? Because, you know, and I'm like, listen, that doesn't happen here. You know what I mean? He goes, what do you mean they don't fuck? You know, and I'm like, they just don't, that's not like, you know, like they don't do that here.
Russian
This
mafia
isn't, you know,
style.
this isn't this is not that kind of place, you know? And then he looked at me, he's like, okay, which room they fuck? Like, he really didn't know, like, he was totally confused that all it was a naked dance and that was it. Like, there was nothing more to it, you know? But yes, I mean, it goes both ways. You know what I mean? Like, you know, there could be guys that are blatantly obvious, like, you know, how much for these girl, you know? And,
Should have like go up north 40 minutes.
Where would that be, Dex?
I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
that's what I heard. That's what I heard.
I'm just talking shit.
That would have
bro.
been funny. He walked out with him zipping his fence. Hey man, what the fuck? You know, fuck.
Oh man.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, so since you guys are, you know, probably the definitely biggest thing in Miami, maybe one of the biggest in the country, how do you kind of compete with clubs that don't have naked women and stuff like that? How do you get people to come
They
to you?
still win. Trust me.
Okay.
Well, you know
They're
what
the
it
last
is?
resort.
You know what it is? It's, I mean, you know, first of all, I feel like, you know, we're one of the only places that I've ever been to that, you know, 24/7 you can, you know, be entertained, you can have a great time, you can drink, you can eat, and you still get good service. You know
Yep,
what I mean?
it's
Like,
great
There's a
service.
lot of places you can go 24/7 and drink. There's a lot of places you can go 24/7 and see naked women. There's a lot of places you can go 24/7 and hang out and dance. But you're not going to be able to have all of that in one place and have good service. You know
It's
what I mean?
not
And have people there,
hostile. You're not
you
being
know?
harassed.
Like my biggest problem during the pandemic was we'd go around to these private parties and shit, you know, and like, you know, I've had people ready there to spend money, and I mean, you know,
They're just
you're
not
like
used
you're
to
buying
it.
a bottle on like a coffee table, you know what I mean, or like
Yeah.
or like the servers walking over in like, you know, shorts and gym shoes, and you know, there's like no uniform. There's
Yeah.
no, like I see these events and like I see people everywhere, and I'm like, man. And then I look at the security and I'm like, bro, I don't feel safe. You know what I mean? Like I straight up don't feel safe.
I agree.
You know, what if a fight breaks out and all of a sudden a riot breaks out and I'm relying on this guy over here to be the security, you know what I mean? Like he don't even have a radio, you know? Like
literally this guy.
He's
Like,
playing,
literally this
he's playing,
guy.
he's playing Angry Birds on his
right,
phone.
yeah. Like I mean, he's not prepared for what might go down here.
During the pandemic, you talk about during the pandemic, did any of the girls get a little too comfortable and like kind of lose their moves or their bodies or at all when they had to come back?
I mean, yeah, man, everybody had a re-audition, you know? I mean, everybody, you know? I mean, we have close to like 480 girls contracted, you know, and I mean, every single one of them had a re-audition. There's some, I mean, you know, you got to remember the pandemic is weird for a lot of people, you know what I mean? Like, you know, even now, I mean, if I see somebody I hadn't seen in a long time, like I got to ask what they do, you know what I mean? Because they might be doing something completely different than they did, you know, pre-pandemic, you know? A lot of these girls found jobs or, you know, husbands or whatever, you know what I mean?
I was
like,
working there, transferred back to her hometown.
like
yeah, bro. A lot of girls went back home to their hometown, you know, and then never came back. You know, a lot of girls.
Or they found OnlyFans and they don't have to go into the club anymore.
Mom found OnlyFans.
I actually know a couple girls that worked at 11 that got into OnlyFans, and they're like, you know what? I can do what I was doing there from my couch, and I'm just like, you know what? God bless you, you know.
And then Dex goes over to their couch and tries to find their address because that's usually
No, actually, no. It's like this.
It's not true, Dex?
No, absolutely not, man. Absolutely not.
A lot of these girls make a lot of money.
God, on Sundays, you can come with me to church.
I don't know if
a lot of girls been getting scammed in the industry with those fake OnlyFans pages. That's wild, man.
Oh, everyone's got a fake OnlyFans.
Oh, no,
I feel
no,
like if you don't have a fake OnlyFans page about you, you ain't popping.
Yeah.
Yo, Joe just hit us with some interesting facts there. These girls are making a lot of money. What is you don't have to say who it is or whatever. What is the nicest car that one of the employees that is parks in the parking lot?
Oh man, I mean, we have my box that come up
From an employee.
from a dancer. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she drives a Maybach. Another one drives a Bentley Continental. I mean, you got Lamborghinis, Ferraris coming in. I mean, these girls are making a killing. That's what I'm saying. I'm sure OnlyFans worked out for a lot of these girls during the pandemic, but those $7.99 subscriptions every month don't really add up to the thousands that they're making, you know, every night sometimes, you know, at the club. So, you know, it's a give and take.
I mean, I'll eat more and grow some titties and be in 11 like, yo, what's up? Like, yeah.
JD's about to say something smart. I could just see it for
No, I don't want to do that. I was gonna be like, well,
Oh, you're gonna do what?
I was gonna be like, is that not even real?
Don't cut any jokes. Don't crack any jokes. I'm not a real comic.
I'm not doing Joe like that.
Real quick, we had talked about that one of the biggest nights was guys that were in Bitcoin. There was a Bitcoin conference down here in Miami. I know a lot of those guys went to 11 after. Was that like a crazy week for you?
Yeah, it was a great weekend. Honestly, we did crazy amounts of money in Bitcoin. We just started taking it, you know, a few months ago, and it's been on fire. I mean, obviously, you know, Bitcoin itself took a dip for a while, so I mean, you know, the transaction slowed up a little bit, but still, I mean, I got clients that only pay in Bitcoin.
Hey, that's good.
That's
great.
Else.
That's
Yeah.
great.
That's good, man.
Oh, that's great. Great,
Yeah,
JD.
that's great.
Okay.
That's consistency.
Let's see what your wallet looks like, buddy. Your Bitcoin wallet. So if people, we've been talking about 11, but how can people contact you if they want to get a tattoo or check out your portfolio or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, you know, tattoos hit me up directly on Instagram. You know, I mean, I'm very active on there.
He says he's not, but he is.
No, I mean, like, I'm responsive, I should say. I don't post, but I'll respond.
Yeah, he's very responsive.
And what's your Instagram address again?
At the Dapper Viking.
The Dapper Viking.
The Dapper Viking.
What's your background?
So my dad's Irish, Scottish, English. My mom's Puerto Rican.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So I got a nice little Latin mix in there too.
What's up?
Yeah.
Oh. All right, man. The
Thought
Dapper.
you were Swedish at first, like Scandinavian, real Viking.
I usually get. I'm probably more conquistador than I'm Viking, bro.
Conquistador.
That's right. Joe, we really appreciate you coming by, man.
Yeah,
Thank you so
absolutely,
much.
bro. I had
That
a
was
blast.
dope. So I want you to look at this face, and if you see us outside,
Yeah, that's right. That's it. I'll know, right?
Just don't make us cry too much. That's all I ask. Don't make us cry that much.
Just when you get up to the door, don't be like, "Yo, you were on my podcast." Remember?
Give it a nod.
Don't be screaming that from the door. Text me in advance. Let me know you're coming by. I got you.
For sure. All right, man. So we promoted the tattoos. Anything else you want to talk? Or you also have a vodka we didn't even talk about sitting right there. Show the folks that.
Yeah, bro. We got 11 vodkas. Yeah, it's nice little case right here.
And it says something on
vodka.
Says something
This
on
is
the
like
inside.
a great
there.
vodka.
Zero fucks given, bro.
Uh-oh.
This is a great vodka for a kid that just turned 21 is gonna get hammered.
Yeah.
0 fucks given.
You know what though? It's sugar free. It's gluten free.
Okay.
It's a nice little competitor to other gluten free vodkas that shall not be named. But
Yeah.
it's a good vodka. I mean, I'm not a big vodka person, but from my clients that are into vodka, they love it. They
To bring a little bit of 11 home. I went and got some bottles from Total Wines.
That's right.
Total Wines, and they had them there. And I was like,
there's a bunch of liquor stores.
there's a bunch of liquor stores that have it.
Yeah,
So you could bring a little bit of 11 home.
Any Eastern European male tourist, if you can't bring anybody from 11 home, you could bring some of that home.
That was a good
You
one.
can bring a nice skinny bottle.
That's right. We love it. All right, dope. So, so check that out, I guess, in a liquor store near you, man. Joe, thank you so much, bro.
Absolutely, brother.
Dex, do you want to say anything before we get out of here?
Oh, no. I just want to say,
DripNinjaClub.com.
www.dripninjaclub.com. Make sure you check out the agency and the new membership club that has launched, and you make sure you come check us out Wednesdays after you go and stop and see DJ Wonder doing Wood Tavern.
Yeah.
And come, yeah, exactly.
And coming soon, Dex's food blog from all the chicken at Club 11.
Chicken.
JD, do you wanna give out your Instagram finally?
Next week.
All right, cool. All right, man. You did a great job this week. Thanks, guys.
Again.
All right, see ya.